Why it was kind of cool to be an infantry soldier Ashigaru in warring states Japan. Food and rations, survival, simplicity, and secret sake. Despite harsh battlefield conditions, Ashigaru ate surprisingly nutritious meals. Each soldier received roughly a liter of rice grain every 3 days, just enough to keep them going, but not enough to tempt them into brewing makeshift sake. With miso and salt rationed for every 10 men, they supplemented their diet with whatever they could catch, dig up, or find buried near deserted farmhouses. They also had a clever trick called juzu, pre-soaked rice wrapped in cloth and slung over the shoulder, ready to pop into hot water for a quick meal. These rice beads looked like Buddhist prayer beads, giving them a spiritual edge, even on the battlefield. Ropes tying supplies to pack horses were made from taro stalk fibers soaked in miso, strong enough for transport, yet edible in desperate times. Firewood was rationed too, but horse dung was burned when needed, not just for heat, but to keep bugs away. Hygiene, soaking in onsen, dodging lice. Ashigaru life was dirty. Mud-caked armor, infrequent washing, lice-infested helmets. But Japan's volcanic terrain blessed even foot soldiers with access to natural hot springs. Bathing wasn't just about getting clean, it was spiritual. Influenced by Shinto and Buddhist beliefs, even the lowliest soldiers saw purification through baths as a necessity. Though they rarely got to bathe during campaigns, when they did, it was a heavenly experience. Soaking in mineral-rich waters under the stars, soothed by steam and silence. Water for drinking was filtered through silk bags filled with dried apricot seeds to avoid poisoning from enemy wells, primitive but ingenious. Gear and weapons, from rice fields to firearms. The Ashigaru weren't born warriors. Many were farmers who swapped rice sickles for spears when summoned. Their spears, nagayari or long-shafted pikes, could reach up to 8 meters and were perfect for tripping up cavalry. Their armor? Often just a front plate hara 8, strapped to the chest and a skirt of lamellar plates around the thighs. Helmets were made from simple materials, sometimes even papier-mâché. Not glamorous, but light and fast. The coolest upgrade came from across the sea, arquebus's early firearms brought by Portuguese traders. These new weapons were noisy, smoky, and slow to reload, but they required less training and gave Ashigaru unprecedented firepower. Despite the danger of handling live gunpowder and burning cords, these guns gave commoners the power to bring down elite samurai from a distance. Banners and identity, flags that made men into legions. Every army marched under nobori, vertical banners, and sashimono small back flags. For an Ashigaru, wearing your lord's emblem on your back was more than decoration. It meant belonging. These banners created cohesion in the chaos of battle, allowing commanders to spot and direct units. You might be barefoot and caked in filth, but your sashimono told the world who you fought for, and sometimes who you died for. The sea of fluttering banners on a battlefield was more than theater. It was a language of loyalty, pride, and fear. Other perks, loot, women, legends, and social mobility. Ashigaru were often unpaid, but they had one big motivation: loot. After a battle, they were free to take anything they found: armor, weapons, valuables, food, and sometimes even horses. The boldest soldiers could come away with enough wealth to change their lives. Loot also tragically included women. In defeated castles or villages, some women were taken as spoils, made into servants, concubines, or wives by force or coercion. Though grim by modern standards, it was a reality of warfare not just in Japan, but across the world at the time. Some commanders attempted to regulate this behavior, others turned a blind eye or rewarded it to boost morale. For the Ashigaru, it was brutal, raw, and lawless. Yet even in this chaos, some Ashigaru rose. The legendary Toyotomi Hideyoshi started as a sandal-bearer and went on to unify all Japan. Merit, wit, and ruthlessness could push a nobody to the top. So being an infantry soldier in ancient Japan wasn't glamorous, but it was intense, raw, resourceful, and unexpectedly cool. You lived close to the earth, fought with your wits, and sometimes bathed in volcanic springs between battles. You wore your banner like a badge, foraged like a beast, and looted like a pirate. You could die nameless, or rise to become a legend.